Hebrews 4:15. For we do not have a high Kohan who is unable to empathize with our weaknesses, but we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, yet he did not transgress. Galatians 5:16. So I say, walk by the Ruah, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. 1 Peter 5:8-9. Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy the devil prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Resist him, standing firm in the Amunah, because you know that the family of believers throughout the world is undergoing the same kind of sufferings. Ephesians 6:10-11. Finally, be strong in Yahuah and in His mighty power. Put on the full armor of HalaluYAHUAH, so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. Romans 13:14. Rather, clothe yourselves with the Master, Yahushua HaMashiach, and do not think about how to gratify the desires of the flesh. 1 John 2:16. For everything in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, comes not from the Father but from the world. Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. 1 Corinthians 6:18. Flee from sexual immorality. All other sins a person commits are outside the body, but whoever sins sexually sins against their own body. 1 Timothy 6:11. But you, man of HalaluYAHUAH, flee from all this, and pursue righteousness, that of HalaluYAHUAH, Amunah, love, endurance, and gentleness. Psalms 119:11. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not transgress against you. 2 Timothy 2:22. Flee the evil desires of youth and pursue righteousness, Amunah, love, and Shalom, along with those who call on Yahuah out of a pure heart. Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what HalaluYAH's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will. Ephesians 4:27. And do not give the devil a foothold. Colossians 3:5. Put to death, therefore, whatever belongs to your earthly nature, sexual immorality, impurity, lust, evil desires, and greed, which is idolatry. Hebrews 2:18. Because He Himself suffered when He was tempted, He is able to help those who are being tempted. James 1:14-15. But each person is tempted when they are dragged away by their own evil desire and enticed. Then, after desire has conceived, it gives birth to transgression, and transgression, when it is full grown, gives birth to death. Luke 22:40. On reaching the place, He said to them, Pray that you will not fall into temptation. Peter 5:8. Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy the devil prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Galatians 6:1. Brothers and sisters, if someone is caught in a transgression, you, who live by the Ruah, should restore that person gently. But watch yourselves, or you also may be tempted. 1 Corinthians 15:33. Do not be misled, bad company corrupts good character. Ephesians 6:13. Therefore put on the full armor of HalaluYAHUAH, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground, and after you have done everything to stand. Psalms 119:133. Direct my footsteps according to your word, let no transgress rule over me. 2 Peter 2:9. If this is so, then Yahuah knows how to rescue the righteous from trials and to hold the unrighteous for punishment on the day of judgment. 1 Thessalonians 5:22. Reject every kind of evil. Titus 2:12. It teaches us to say no to unrighteousness and worldly passions, and to live self-controlled, upright, and righteous lives in this present age. 1 Corinthians 10:12. So, if you think you are standing firm, be careful that you don't fall. Proverbs 1:10. My son, if law-breaking men entice you, do not give in to them. Matthew 26:41. Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The Ruah is willing, but the flesh is weak. Ephesians 4:22-24. You were taught, with regard to your former way of life, to put off your old self, which is being corrupted by its deceitful desires, to be made new in the attitude of your minds, and to put on the new self, created to be like HalaluYAHUAH in true righteousness and Kadash. Psalms 141:4. Do not let my heart be drawn to what is evil so that I take part in wicked deeds along with those who are evildoers. Do not let me eat their delicacies. 1 Peter 1:14-15. As obedient children, do not conform to the evil desires you had when you lived in ignorance. But just as he who called you is Kadosh, so be Kadosh in all you do. Luke 4:8. Yahushua answered, It is written, Worship Yahuah your Eluah and serve him only. 1 Timothy 6:9. Those who want to get rich fall into temptation and a trap and into many foolish and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. James 4:7. Submit yourselves then to Eluah. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. 1 Corinthians 6:9-10. Or do you not know that wrongdoers will not inherit the kingdom of Eluah? Do not be deceived. Either the sexually immoral, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor men who have sex with men, nor thieves, nor the greedy, nor drunkards, nor slanderers, nor swindlers will inherit the kingdom of Yahuah. Romans 8:5-6. Those who live according to the flesh have their mind set on what the flesh desires, but those who live in accordance with the Ruah have their mind set on what the Ruah desires. The mind governed by the flesh is death, but the mind governed by the Ruah is life and peace. Galatians 5:16-17. So I say, walk by the Ruah, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. For the flesh desires what is contrary to the Ruah, and the Ruah what is contrary to the flesh. They are in conflict with each other, so that you are not to do whatever you want. Hebrews 12:4. In your struggle against transgression, you have not yet resisted to the point of shedding your blood. 2 Peter 1:3-4. His divine power has given us everything we need for a righteous life through our knowledge of Him who called us by His own esteem and goodness. Through these He has given us His very great and precious promises, so that through them you may participate in the divine nature, having escaped the corruption in the world caused by evil desires. 1 John 2:15-17. Do not love the world or anything in the world. If anyone loves the world, love for the Father is not in them. For everything in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, comes not from the Father but from the world. The world and its desires pass away, but whoever does the will of Yahuah lives forever. Psalms 51:10. Create in me a pure heart, O Yahuah, and renew a steadfast Ruah within me. 1 Corinthians 15:57. But thanks be to Yahuah. He gives us the victory through our Master Yahushua HaMashiach.